Hello, Collective. It's Intuitive Pisces Moon, and welcome to my channel. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. So, if you've been here for a while, I thank you so much for sticking with me. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. Today's reading is going to be a pick a pile reading, and this is to reveal something that is hidden from you. So we have 3 piles here, as you saw in the thumbnail, and I am going to just show you each and every one. And use your intuition. Maybe it's a word on the card that jumps out at you, maybe it's the imagery that jumps out. Pick whichever one you are intuitively drawn to, and there will be a message there for you. So for pile 1, we have time. And for pile 2, we have a cup of tea. And lastly, for pile 3, we have bird. So go ahead and take a moment, look at each one of these, choose whichever one that you are intuitively drawn to for whatever reason, and we will get right into the readings of the piles. I will see you there. Okay, so for those of you who chose this card, the time card, this is pile 1, this is your reading. So I am going to go ahead and pull up the book for this. They have very short explanations, but there's also a reflection section. So with its sharp scent, time tells you to be in the moment and pay attention to the state of your mind, body, and spirit. In green witchcraft, we rely on herbs to help ground us. The time card is asking you to be present and self-aware. It may be time to take an inventory of how you feel, with all the pretense, wishful thinking, and illusions stripped away. Evaluate yourself honestly. Take note of areas that sting or hurt and that feels good. Try not to judge your feelings, just offer them love and understanding, and remember that feelings are not actions. It takes strength and effort to stay present in your life. Your reflection question, again, you could use this as a journal prompt, is: have you been fully present in your daily life? If not, what steps can you take to change this? All right, so we're going to expand on this and we're going to get into the rest of the cards that came out. So I heard a bunch of crows outside of my window today before I went to do this reading, so I was drawn to the Crow Oracle. So I pulled 2 cards from the Crow Oracle, and the first one we have is Observation and Dominance. So observation really did strongly pull me to this self-awareness and this presence card. They could almost be construed as one and the same. So there's something that we are being asked to take a look at and observe. And being tied with this dominance card, what it's bringing me to is if there's anything in your life right now that is taking your attention away from this present moment. Okay? So what they're explaining to me with this is if you have anxiety, then you are likely worried about the future. And fear could also be tied to that. And then there's also like guilt and shame. Those kind of things would be tied to your past. So if you are too heavy in any of those energies, then Spirit is asking you to reflect on why those feelings are coming up and why are they dominating your present moment. Okay? So if it's the shame and the guilt from the past, then that is just something that we need to observe, be self-aware about what happened, but also it's time to release it. It's time to let it go. And if we have fear and anxiety about the future, then we're too tied up in that time frame rather than just the here and now. Okay? So there is an Emily Dickinson quote that says forever is composed of nows, which just means that now is the most important moment. So if we're too worried about the past or the future, then we're not present in the now. So we're going to pull up some other cards. And again, these are things that might be hidden from you. Okay. So this is something that you may not have seen or acknowledged. Maybe you were uncertain as to why these feelings were coming up. Um, Dominance can also be something else entirely. And with the rest of the cards that are going to come out, we're going to get into that. But the way that it came out before I got clarification was basically to observe your situation as it is, and maybe this even means from like a neutral observation point. Like, get out of your feelings, right? Be the neutral party that's just observing from the outside and try to see what it is that's happening, okay? So we're going to get into these here. And this was a pretty clear message. All right. So, what I gathered from these cards is that you are at a crossroads in your life. You currently have, at the very least, two paths to choose from. Over here, I'm getting it's time to go. It's time to leave whatever situation that you're in, and this may even mean moving your home, moving your residence. But I look at this card too, the Rider, as like the Fool. Maybe even combined with the Magician, because it feels like you're just ready to go in a direction. Your opportunities are endless. You're preparing for something. So if you kind of look at this in progression here, we have a house. We have somebody who's ready to go. We have a choice to make. Then we come to this false person. Now, this fell under the dominance card. So this was where my viewpoint of what this card might mean changed a little, because now we have clarity on the situation. So, is there somebody that you live with at home? And I don't care if this is what type of relationship this is, whether this is romantic, it could be a family member, a roommate, a friend, anybody that you might live with in your home is potentially trying to keep you out of the present moment. Maybe they consistently remind you of the past and the future to keep you in this, like, I'm getting almost this neurotic energy, trying to purposefully, again, maybe exert their dominance over you. They might be holding something over your head, such as money, right? If you live in their house and it's not your house, maybe they're using that to their advantage. Like, you can't go find another place to live. You could never afford it, something like that. Whatever this is, you already have the feeling that you need to get out of that. I feel like you've already sensed something going on here. Although this is a reading for revealing something that's hidden from you, so maybe you haven't figured it out yet. So this reading is here to just bring some information to light, to help you clarify why it is you might feel the way you feel. Again, there might be a person, and it could be more than one person, but it just says false person, and there's both a man and a woman in here. So that could go either way, right? But you are faced with a choice at this moment. And this choice is likely to change residence, move your home, move cities, towns, states, countries, whatever this is, and make a choice that's going to benefit you. It feels like you have this beautiful magic energy that wants to go do beautiful things. But there's something here that needs to be released that's been holding you back. And it is specifically pointing out a false person. Okay, now we have the number 8 here, and there's some letters and stuff in the background. 8 could be August, could be somebody born in the month of August. I'm also getting Leo energy here. Somebody with red hair. And it's not, yeah, that's not real red hair. Let's be real, that ain't real red hair. Um, but there's red in each of these cards too. So what this feels like is this feels like your passion, your power that you're trying to figure out. And then we have this false person with this fake red hair and fake. So I'm going really deep here on this, and this may not relate to all of you, but this is the energy that's being picked up on. This is somebody who is faking something to keep you here. And maybe again, they've led you to believe that there's love here if it's a relationship, even with parental people, they could be doing something out of love. They could be telling you they're doing something out of love. But the thing is it's keeping you stuck, whatever this is. So at this crossroads, make sure you choose the choice from a neutral standpoint that is best for you. And we gotta let go of whatever this is because it's dominating you at the moment. It feels like it's keeping you stuck in the past and so worried about the future that you can't enjoy your now moments. Your presence and your self-awareness. So by exiting and getting away from this situation, it's going to give that back to you. And I feel like some of you may already know who this is or what this situation is. But we have a person who's got a fan here masking their face. Again, false person. And then in the background, this man also has a mask on his face. So this person is portraying a particular version of themselves that's making them seem like they're helpful, that they're nice, and they're loving and caring, or whatever they're pretending to be. And you might be falling for something because of that. But it's coming through here that there is something false in your life that you can't see or haven't yet identified. And because you're at this crossroads now, I am hearing this message is very crucial for you to pick this up and to understand what it is, why it is, and to get away from it. I'm getting the sensation too that you've wanted to change homes for a while now, but this has kept you stuck. Okay, the thing that's coming to me right now is caregiver. Let's just say you live with your parents and you want to move out and you want to go get your own place, you want to have freedom, whatever the situation is, but maybe one of your parents or both whoever is in this house needs help, needs care. And so they are leaning on you to provide that care for them. And they've made you feel that you must stay and help them through that. So take that as it resonates, but that was a situation that came up. This could be many other things though too, right? So let's get you your last card here. And this is your affirmation and a journal prompt for you. So we got the bat. Your affirmation is, I remain flexible in life. Your journal prompt is, recall when your intuition has kept you on the right path. How did you know what to do? Your intuition. Because that's what I'm getting is needed here. It's like you're getting this nudge from the universe right now to wake up your intuition to pick up on this, because it's hidden, it's unknown to you at this time. Like, hey, nudge, nudge. Trust that intuition. And with all the red in these cards, even the red up here, red flags is also coming to me. You have been shown multiple red flags about whoever this is. And maybe you ignored them because of the house situation, because of the love, the care, the whatever they're pretending to be here, whoever they're masquerading as. And it's been false. So allow your intuition to go back and think about red flags. You know, when we first get into relationships, especially, we tend to ignore red flags. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say I don't know why we do that. I know why we do that, but we shouldn't do that. The red flags are there for a reason. They are alerting you to something. So if we're ignoring the red flags, we're ignoring our intuition, we're basically staying for, I don't know, safety, security, whatever reasons you may have to have stayed, you've ignored all the red flags. And there have been a lot. There's been at least 5 red flags here. And you probably likely have either tried to leave before or wanted to leave before and were prevented from doing so in some way. And again, it's taken me back to this self-awareness and this presence. This is leading me to believe that they keep reminiscing about the past or having you worried about the future. So either there's some guilt or shame being held over your head about something in the past, or there's worry and anxiety being held over your head about your future, like making you feel like you can't do it. Like you can't leave, you will never be able to do that. You know, I know I said that already. But this is their way of exerting dominance over you. So, that is your reading. That is what is hidden in your life right now. I hope you figure this out for yourselves. And if this reading didn't resonate with you, that's okay. Check out one of the other piles. But I want to thank you all so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. All right, pile 2. So if you chose this image here, this is the cup of tea, which stands for patience and reassessment, then this is your reading. So we're going to go ahead and read from the book a little bit on this one before we jump into the rest of the cards. A cup of tea provides you with a moment of quiet. Savor the process and stay present. This brewing takes time. Just as a tricky situation takes time to develop, a quick reaction may not be the way to go. Have patience and let things ripen. Just as an infusion of herbs takes time to come to full potency, magical work rarely produces instantaneous results. Remember, a watched pot never boils. Let it do its work in its own time and trust in your process. Use the time to reflect on the situation and how you feel about it, and reassess your perspective. The cup of tea card reminds you that perhaps it is not all it seems. Your reflection question, which you can use as a journal prompt: are there lessons that you can learn from a difficult situation that you haven't considered yet? Okay. So some of you might be going through a difficult situation. So this reading is regarding something that's hidden in your life, something that needs to be revealed at this time. So we're going to get into your spread here. So this morning I heard crows very loudly out in nature, so I decided to use the Crow Oracle to go with this reading today. So the 2 that came out was Bond, the number 6, and then Nature, number 32. So the 6, this card here is like the Lover's card in the tarot, okay? We have two crows here. They're sharing a bond. There's something here that they are sharing energetically. Maybe they're sharing their lives. Maybe they're their life partners, okay? They're well matched with each other. And then over here we have nature. So with the nature card, you might be called to go out in nature. And when we're thinking about something that needs reassessment or patience, maybe you have been asking for this bond, right? Whether this is a deep friendship, a soulmate, something that's going to equally match your energy, your intention, and your love, and it's going to be fulfilling. With this nature card, I know that a lot of times when I need to clear my head of stuff, I do enjoy going for walks in nature. And what I'm getting with that too is that don't go with your headphones. Take in the sounds of nature. Use it as like a form of sound therapy. So, and if you do have to go with your headphones, only put it in one ear. Okay? I know that's what I do. I like to hear both. I want to hear my music, but I also would like to hear the birds chirping. So, these are the other cards that came out here. And this is very interesting because the ship here refers to traveling, vacations, going to some place far, some place that's distant from where you are now. The birds is all about communication. Now, it does not have to be any official form of communication. In fact, it could be gossip. I don't necessarily see that in this reading. There's nothing that alludes to that. So I'm getting that you might be receiving communication. And then we have the tulips with a note. Another form of communication here. And then we have a person here in despair. And this person in despair may be just going through a lot of stuff in their life right now. So what this felt like to me is a soulmate who you may not be in contact with at this time. And you have had all the patience in the world with this individual. And they may have taken a long time to come forward with communication. And I'm getting that it's because they have been just dealing with the most in their life. I did a short love message reading not too long ago, like last week, where the person was having nightmares and heavy stress, all kinds of stuff. This person was going through a lot. So this might be the same individual who's over in their life. They're dealing with just a lot of crap at the moment. But what I am seeing here is that even through this despair, this feels like rock bottom. And it feels like this individual needed to hit rock bottom because when you previously knew them, they may have been a bit too much in their ego. And that's why things didn't work out when they did, okay? So this feels like a soulmate love bond situation where you have had all the patience in the world with them. And maybe you had to split off and do your own thing. And that's where this travel is. Like, go live your own life, right? While this individual was going through their own despair. But we have like an apology and a communication here. So something that is hidden that you don't know about right now in your life is that this individual who is in despair is very highly thinking about you and wants to communicate with you and wants to apologize for something. Send you a note, send you a letter, send you flowers, maybe even travel to you. I don't know if there's a great distance between where you live. This is also vacations, so they may want to go on a vacation with you or something. Again, I'm not trying to pinpoint all of that with this individual because this doesn't necessarily feel like them that's going on a vacation while they're in despair. This feels more like your energy. Like it feels like you are in this kind of um like forget about it energy. Like I'm just going to go on and live my life. So if communication and apology comes in, then okay, fine, but I'm off doing my own thing. So I'm not necessarily getting the vacation from this person in despair because they're not thinking about that right now. In this picture, it looks like a homeless person. You have a man on a crate with a little sign in the window that says not hiring. And they've got their dog in front of them with their head down. So something is about to come in for you in the form of communication, likely in the form of an apology, while you are just doing your own thing, right? You have had to exert enormous amounts of patience and do lots of reassessing in your life. You've already gone through this. You've already hit rock bottom, I feel. And you've had to pick yourself back up and move along. Maybe this person has not gone through that yet, and they're there now. So, if this person reaches out, it'll be up to you to use your discernment if you would like to pursue anything with this individual. They may just reach out and tell you that they're sorry, just to break no contact, and to tell you they're going through some stuff. Not to like make you feel sorry for them, but just to be like, look, I realize now everything that's happened here. I'm so sorry. I'm going through some stuff. Maybe we can connect down the line when I've reestablished myself. I don't see them wanting to pursue you in this energy. They're going to want to fix themselves back up, get reestablished, and then potentially come and pursue you. But this feels like something that you may not have been aware of. It's like they want to communicate, they want to apologize, but they're in some kind of mess right now. Okay? So let's get you one last card here. We have Capricorn energy. Your affirmation is boundaries are healthy. And your journal prompt is where do I need to establish healthy boundaries? There we have it. So maybe initially you had to put a boundary in place with this person. You had to draw the line somewhere and say, something's not working for me. I've got to focus on my own life. I've got to go do my own thing. And it has, I'm not going to say what you did has left this person in despair, but this person has now realized why you had to set that boundary, why that was required in order for you to grow. Because again, it put you in this despair. Maybe you weren't homeless, but you definitely weren't chosen. That's the feeling I'm getting here. And it put you in some kind of state to where you had to pick yourself back up and rebuild yourself, your confidence, your self-esteem, everything, right? You had to reassess your life, rebuild. Now this person is at rock bottom and having to do the same, but they are now seeing what they've done to you. So they may come forward with communication, with an apology. Only time will tell. So in the meantime, keep your boundaries strong. All right, so this has been your reading pile 2. I hope it resonated with you. If it didn't, check out one of the other piles. But I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate each and every. Pile 3. If you chose this card, this is the bird card, then this is your reading. So I am going to go ahead and read from the book a little bit on this one. This one stands for freedom and opportunity. As symbols of freedom in many cultures, birds tell us that we too can soar. Conversely, many bird species are tied to a food source in a specific region. So they are completely interconnected with local land and its energies. Finding a balance between these two extremes can be challenging. Migration is another challenge. There is an element of sacrifice involved in leaving the known and familiar, and trusting in your intuition to get to where you need to be. The bird card also tells you that a new opportunity is close by. Lift your head past your current focus and to look around for it. A bird's eye view may reveal something that you might otherwise have never known about. New opportunities are on the horizon. Your reflection, or you can do this as a journal prompt. Have you been struggling to change your mindset and learn something new? All right. So, this reading is going to be on things that are hidden. So, we're going to reveal something that you might not know is going on in your life. Now, if we are potentially not seeing opportunities, it might be because we're focusing too much on the minutia or the problem that's just directly in front of us instead of the whole picture, right? So if you think of a mosaic, you're looking at one little tile instead of the big overall picture. So we're going to dig a little deeper into this for you today. This morning there was crows right outside my window, so I decided to use the Crow Oracle. And we have waterproof and territory. Interesting that territory came out because territory also showed up over here with the birds card. So you, pile 3, might be seeing a lot of birds, and sometimes they can act very territorial. So what I'm picking up here is that some of you, and this is just what's coming up, okay, might be in a lack mentality, like that there's not enough for all of us, okay? Kind of like a fear mentality. If birds move around because the food source is not enough for everybody, then that's just like what they have to do. So if you do feel that where you're at, and this is specifically located to your town, your home, your country, I don't know where it is that you're located, your state, where there's just not enough of something. Maybe it's a shortage of jobs. Maybe it's a shortage of a certain type of food. Whatever this is to you, you might need to move and relocate to go to some place that has more opportunity and freedom for you. Okay? Now, with the waterproof card, this is actually beautiful because what this is telling me is that you've been through this before. Whatever this is that's going on in your life has already happened, and that you have already built up a tolerance to it or a strength, and you are just being reminded of that. Okay? So with the waterproof card, this is basically like nothing is going to sway you or shake you. You are good. So even just a little bit of rain is like, it's just going to, fly right off you. So no big deal. You're just needing to be reminded at this time of all the times that you overcame something with great strength and came through it just fine on the other end, right? So it could be opportunities that are in a shortage. So again, jobs, maybe you have a specific skill set and where you're at is just overly saturated with too many people that are doing that same thing. And so it's hard for you to find a job. Maybe it's time to find a new territory to find yourself that job that fits your skill set. All right. And even with this picture, this is so many birds in this one little area, all, like, again, if it's a job, all looking for the same job. So you apply for a job and it's like these are all the candidates that are also applying, and you just kind of feel like every time you put your application in, you don't get the job because somebody else is better suited, or maybe they're a relative to somebody that works at the company. I mean, sometimes people get hired and they're not even fit for the job, right? Unfortunately, that happens. So, whatever this market saturation, and that's the term that's coming to me, is market saturation. Whatever this is for you, it just means that a new location might suit you best. And it's going to be a new location that's going to offer you freedom and opportunity. Maybe it's a place that rains a lot. All right, let's get into your other cards that came through here. Okay. So when this is two different decks. I use the Kipper here and the Lenormand, and I mix them up because I like doing that. I like it to be one big old full deck because they all have different meanings. This card here, if you are a feminine energy watching, okay, you don't have to be a female, but if you just tend to identify as feminine energy, this would be you, okay? And you're patiently waiting, sitting by a window, holding a rose with a book, okay? And then we have this message of concern. It feels like something comes through and almost startles you. It might be from a mature man. Maybe an older man sends you a message, but it's a message of concern. This could be, if it's the job market, your employers that are sending you like, nope, sorry, you didn't get the job. Maybe this is somebody that you know that's just telling you that this market is overly saturated and that maybe this isn't the best place, but maybe they're going to give you a new location that's better suited to your talents. Now, the moon card being here, interesting in a let's look at what's hidden in your life right now with the moon card, because the moon card is all about hidden things. But in this particular deck, it's actually slightly different. So the way that they discuss the moon card is like star quality. Like, think Marilyn Monroe and how she just had people fainting over her all the time. And she was very famous. She had star quality, right? So think about yourself being among the stars. So that could be a mindset change that needs to happen in your life at this time. Is whatever it is that's going on here, you deserve to be free from it and to have all the opportunities that are available to you. So what needs to change is, even though there may have been, the words keep coming up: denial, decline. So I don't know if you applied for a loan and you were declined. You were denied something, a job. Denied, yeah, whatever that is. This card is here to remind you of your unique beauty and qualities. And so there is a market out there that is going to be better suited to what you have to offer. So whatever that looks like to you, like here's an example. Let's say you live in Florida and you're a podiatrist, and there's 50 million podiatrists in Florida, right? And you're like, why can't I find a job? Like, I'm a doctor, this should be easy. But where you're at is just heavily saturated. Then you go to Utah and there are very few podiatrists. And so you move over there, maybe the cost of living is less. Maybe the pay rate is higher. and there's fewer podiatrists. So I don't know who that was for, but this is something that wants you to move to a place that is just better suited to your unique energy. And again, this is star quality energy. You do have something unique, a skill set to offer to people, but in a heavily saturated market, it might be difficult to see. It's almost like that needle in a haystack feeling, right? So, whatever it is that you need to do to get yourself away from this heavily saturated market, this could even be the dating scene, right? Maybe in your area, there's too many people on this dating site and you're not being chosen, or you're going out on dates and they're just not ending well. Go to some place that maybe has more availability and you're this beauty in the rough. It's very interesting, the things that they're bringing to my attention for your reading today. But whatever this is, you are rare, you are unique, and you have something beautiful to offer. It's just going to be that the right person needs to see that within you. And that's what's going to get you this opportunity. And it's not going to happen in a place where there's like you feel like you're a dime a dozen, right? So it might be a mature man that finds you and says, "Wow, I really truly see all that you have to offer. Let's move you out of this area to some place that's better suited to you, and we're going to make you a star." That was from the genie. All right, let's close this reading out with one last card here. And this is your affirmation and also a journal prompt if you're interested. So we got Taurus. So this could be a mature man that's a Taurus. Maybe you're a Taurus. Your affirmation is, "I am worthy of luxury." And then your question or your journal prompt is, "How can I cultivate a more indulgent experience?" Here's the thing, star quality, you have it. Maybe you're not seeing it, and that's the part that's hidden in your life because you are just this diamond in the rough. And yes, the rough is all these other people around you. So there is something about you that is beautiful, that is star quality, that is very unique and shines brightly. But when you're putting in applications, it's hard to identify that on a piece of paper, right? So that's what I'm getting here, is that there's something about you that needs to be felt and experienced in person. Because a piece of paper is not going to come close to expressing your magnanimous energy. And you deserve this life of luxury. So if you've just been accepting whatever job comes your way or relationship comes your way, because that's all there is, like you feel like you've got the leftover scraps that everybody else didn't want, you're going to be looking to find some place that's going to offer you this freedom and opportunity elsewhere. And this is why I'm getting, you're looking out this window, like looking on the horizon. This is like the Two of Wands. You're at this crossroads going, do I move somewhere else? Again, you might be in like a heavily saturated city, because that's what this card is showing here. Even in this card, these are all apartment buildings back here, and it's heavily saturated. But that might not be the ideal place for you. Because like I said, you're this diamond in the rough. You're also feeling like a needle in a haystack. So whatever is drowning you out, it's time to move away from that environment and get you in a place, like I'm getting like small town where everybody knows everybody, because then you're going to be interacting with more people. You're going to be meeting, greeting, all kinds of stuff, being invited to parties. You're going to be like the life of the party. That's what I'm getting. So do what you need to do to put yourself in the best position for these opportunities that want to come through for you. Because once people see what you have to offer, that's it. Like, a piece of paper is not going to describe that for you. Okay? So that is your reading, pile 3. I hope that resonated with you. If it did not, then try to check out one of the other piles. Maybe one of those had something in there for you. But I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.